there's one thing worse than real genuine misinformation, it's real genuine misinformation from somebody who claims to be an educator. I'd like to show you a clip from a video that was posted on the Thunderfoot channel today, presumably by Thunderfoot. I don't know if he's made the video, but this video was posted on his channel. Just have a look at this clip of it, please. Okay, well look, I've not even seen this video by Thunderfoot. I got a PM this morning from somebody called Iamgoddard saying, look, this is just a part of a hate campaign. This is a hoax. This image which is saying that basically Muhammad was a paedophile, and it's still going on today. Here are these these guys from Palestine, this Hamas mass wedding, and they're purportedly this is their child bride. It's still going on today. But it turns out this is bullshit. Iamgoddard sent me some links which show it's bullshit, but I didn't buy that because maybe he's the biased one. So I went searching for my own, and the first link, I will leave you Iamgoddard's links, but the first link is a Sky News correspondent, Tim Marshall, who was actually at the fucking wedding. These girls are not brides, they are cousins, nieces of the bride or the groom. If they were brides, they wouldn't be allowed to dress like that. If they were deemed to be sexually interesting to adult males, they wouldn't be allowed to dress like that. The brides are kept separate from the grooms, and the brides dress from head to foot in black with only their faces and their hands showing. Seems bizarre to us, doesn't it? Doesn't seem like much of a fucking... Well, actually, I know some people who... That would be a perfect wedding not to have to see their fucking wife all day, but that is their custom. These are not brides, and this is terrible misinformation for anybody to put out. It's even worse when you've got nearly 100,000 fucking subs. Okay. It all stems from this idea that the Prophet Muhammad was a paedophile. I'd just like to suggest that this isn't even a very worthy frame of reference to make, because it's very easy to make these kind of anachronistic viewpoints, if you like. We're looking back at somebody from 1400 years ago and judging them by the standards of today. Now, most of your idols, I'm talking to everybody watching here, most of what you consider your idols from times gone by, they might not be guilty of this crime, okay, but they're guilty of homophobia, of racism, of sexism, of something that really we would deeply frown on today. But we don't judge them in that light. We say, well, no, things were different then, that what they believed in was acceptable and justifiable in terms of the society in which they lived in. Unless you're an expert on the Middle East 1400 years ago, and you can tell me that what the Prophet Muhammad had done was really exceptional, that this wasn't the norm in those times, that he would have been regarded as the lowest of the low in his time for doing it, then I don't think you should be making the point. Allow people, please, to live in the time in which they lived, and don't start trying to frame them in a modern context. Let me tell you that maybe in 1400 years' time, Thunderfoot will be idolised as this great educator from the start of the 21st century. But perhaps there will be groups pillorying him because he had a pet dog, because he ate meat, because he burnt fossil fuels. What a fucking wanker Thunderfoot was. How can anybody possibly admire him when he burnt fossil fuels? Who knows? In 1400 years' time, our moral compass will be very different to what it is today, I would think. But, and this is a big but, this is a Jennifer Lopez look skinny ass size but, before any Muslims start thanking me for having made this point that we can't be, you know, you shouldn't be criticising somebody who lived 1400 years ago in terms of today's morality when things are so different, you know. What's appropriate for now wouldn't have been appropriate then, and what was appropriate then certainly wouldn't be appropriate for now. If that's the defence you're going to use, and it's the only defence there is, you can't then claim that this guy is the perfect example for all times, that this guy's the shining example that we should be modelling ourselves on now. Does it have to be so grotesque that it boils down to fucking 9-year-olds before you say, yeah, well, we'll leave that little bit out? Maybe that isn't the perfect example for now, but all the rest is. You see, this guy lived in a totally different society. What possible expectation can you have that somebody who was living 1450 years ago is making an example that's going to be appropriate now? That is the Prophet Muhammad's defence in all of this, that he lived so long ago. But it also makes you guys very, very guilty when you try and incorporate him as this shining example for all time. Thank you for listening.